It's subjective. Some people like apples, some people like oranges.
Yeah.
He likes oranges. I like apples and oranges. So like, you know.
Welcome to the Fresh Record. I'm one of your hosts, Wiley Todd, and I'm here once again with the co-host of the Fresh Record, Mr. Benny Cumella.
Yes, you are. Yes, he is.
And we're in person again. We met up just for this one episode. No, it's false. No, it's the same trip. It's the same trip.
They don't need to know that.
True.
They don't need to know that. What you don't know won't kill you.
Yeah. So we're back with another episode. I don't think we have any escapades to chat about in this one. We kind of talked about it all yesterday. We went to go eat lunch in the Paseo district in Oklahoma. It was pretty nice. We sat outside.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really get to talk about what we did yesterday, actually, because we didn't record last night.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the Oscars, and I don't know when this is going to air.
Oh, it's probably passed away.
Yeah, I would say probably like a month from now.
Yeah.
It's probably the one that we'll put out. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, yesterday we saw the Oscars. Wiley, we did like a ballot sheet and like did predictions. I only saw maybe 2 of the movies that were nominated, and Wiley, being the movie buff that he is, saw it most, if not all.
I love movies.
Yeah, and he got 17 right, I believe, of 24.
No, that was my mom. She cheated.
You got 16 of 24.
Yeah.
So that's super impressive, by the way. And Wiley's cracking up a White Claw. Ooh, ASMR.
That's for you audio listeners of the podcast.
Just cracking a cold one.
Peachy.
It's ooh, peachy.
Yeah, we watched the Oscars. I particularly didn't really like it because it was a oppie sweep, and I didn't really care for that movie as much as everyone else in the world
I'd love
did.
to see it.
You should see
I haven't seen it.
You're a history buff to some degree too, so you would like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the performances were cool. I definitely thought Billie Eilish has done better in her award circuit with that song.
Like performance-wise?
Yeah, performance-wise,
Me too,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like of like that and the Grammys performance, I much prefer the Oscars performance.
I'm Just Kim was great, but the best performance of the night. Yeah, it was nothing really to talk about there. Kind of disappointing. But new season, new movies. I'm excited. New soundtracks. Thank you very much. But yeah, it was fun. We've been working on a music video for one of my classes. I hate that class. And I actually woke up this morning, got all our footage, and edited what the bare minimum for the class was for the final project, and I'm done. So if that's all I need to submit, that's what's getting submitted. I hate this class. But yeah, so that's what it is. But speaking of music, as this podcast does, how's the White Claw?
It's my first time having a lemon White Claw.
So
believe it or not.
yeah, okay.
More of a blackberry or black cherry kind of guy.
Okay.
It's good. It
Okay.
just tastes like seltzer with lemon
Okay.
and like a hint of vodka.
Okay. The blackberry, you can barely taste the alcohol. That's what I like about that one.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of music, we're going back to our roots a little bit. This is still what the podcast is about, and that's talking about
music.
Smaller artists.
And smaller artists, yeah.
Yeah, smaller artists, ones that we like. And our definitions, I mean, yours might be different of smaller, right? But like, I consider smaller ones that many people don't talk about, like Bonnie Iver is not a massive artist. He's big.
Yeah.
But he's also on the smaller amount, and I wouldn't qualify that as small, Like Stephen Day would be small.
Yeah.
Turnover.
Yeah. Bonnie, how do you say his last
Bonnie
name?
Iver.
Bon Iver.
Yeah.
He's had massive
Yeah,
worldwide
exactly.
hits.
Yeah.
These people haven't. So
Plus,
it's different.
You can go to so many channels, so many podcasts that cover that, and you can do that. We're still going to cover it, of course, but we wanted to focus on the smaller artists, their stories, their music, because they're doing the most unique things. You know, they're creating subgenres and subdivisions of
Yeah.
genres, and I just find that very fascinating.
Yeah, and we're in a very unique time in the music industry where gatekeeping in success
Yeah.
isn't as prevalent as it used to be. And you have people that are really just taking their careers into their own hands. And you have a lot of independent artists that are just absolutely killing what they're doing. And they don't necessarily get the platform and recognition that they deserve. You mentioned Stephen Day.
Mm.
Um, and this might, do you want to talk a little bit more? Or do you want to get into the music while we're here?
We can talk about Stephen Day. I love Stephen
Okay,
Day.
yeah. So we'll talk about Stephen Day. I actually chose Stephen Day for one of my songs. And
Oh.
the reason why we're talking about him is because in this trip, I've introduced him to Wiley in the past.
Yeah.
Uh,
A unreleased episode that we did record.
Yeah.
He was covered.
yeah. So Wiley just never took the time really to go deeper into his music, and
So I regret it.
yeah, and while I was here, he did that and became a fan instantly.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But I chose him for one of my songs today. We're each doing 2, by the way, so there will be a total of 4 new songs for you guys to check out and artists to delve into. I spoke about my history with Stephen Day in a different episode, which just aired today, I believe. But in short, back in 2016, he had an EP called Undergrad Romance, and there were songs on it that I just stumbled across, and he wasn't big at the time at all. Autumn Song, If You Were the Rain, and then I've fallen in love with the rest of his music since on that EP and other releases. But he's I believe 27 or 20. No, I'm sorry, he's 28. And he looks very mature. He's got like a really thick stash going. He's got that 70s like aesthetic in his style, and the way he presents himself. It's like a 70s like dad, like who might be a serial killer on the side. That's the vibe it gives. But he's really special.
It's really ironic because he looks like that, but his music's so peaceful.
Yeah. But you can see he's getting like a lot of inspiration from that era too in his music. Lots of R&B now. He went from singer-songwriter, like neo soul, to more like R&B funk, which I love. And this is all music that I love. So I'm loving the progression of his music. And he's from Tennessee. I believe Nashville is his home base. I'm not entirely sure which town outside of Nashville. Maybe he is from Nashville, like the city itself. But he's a Southern boy, and he's doing some soul. He's got that blue-eyed soul, as they say. And I'm a big fan. I'm actually seeing him live in April. So whenever this gets released, hopefully it's before then, but we'll see what happens. And I could move into my song if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it. Of all the songs I could possibly choose by him, I had a really hard time, but this is one that might be my favorite song of his. That's a statement. It's close though. You want to hand me the phone so you could be surprised?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay.
Make sure to say the title before.
Yeah, here we go. So this is Dancing in the Street by Stephen Day.
I knew better. I saw your feet off the ground. I knew better.
Are you gonna start or am I gonna start?
Well, that was we said it already, but that was Dancing in the Street by Stephen Day. I forget there's 6-second clips in between, so I was like, it's like, oh, they were with us for the last 4 minutes listening to the song. Well, I personally love the song, and I could really go into it. Would you like to put in your opinion?
Yeah, I think, first of all, like beyond the song, what's really present in this song is Stephen Day's voice.
He has a great voice.
There's a thing I hate in music. I shouldn't say hate, but like dislike quite a bit, which is very happy music. You know, happy music I just don't really tend to gravitate to, like a Pharrell's Happy and stuff like that. And sometimes voices that are like that, like a Jason Mraz, I just can't stand. You know, that's usually something I just don't care for. So, that being said, Stephen Day's voice is the perfect combination of it. You know, it's that nice, soothing, relaxing sound. It gives you happy vibes, more exciting vibes, you know, like browsing at a bookshop, for example. And I love it. I love it. And what adds so much to it is the production element in here, the boom baps, and then just like you could literally listen to this song 5 times in a row, focus on an instrument, and there's so much to it.
Yeah, there's so many layers.
Yeah. And I love it. This song is fantastic, good vibes. Like I can't say more strong words about this song. It's perfect. Like
it makes me happy to hear that. Yeah.
It's like, of course, there's songs that I prefer over this, but I like this song. You know,
he has so many good ones.
Exactly, exactly. So it's like, pick your favorite. You know, it's like pick your favorite, but there's like a list of favorites. You know,
and there's no rules to choosing songs when we go over them. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll pick another Stephen Day song to talk about.
I think it's fantastic. It's just, you know, we're in an age where production is king. You know, and in Stephen Day's presence, it's artist is king, production comes second, and I respect that and I love that. You know.
Yeah. No, me too. Me too.
And I have to thank you for showing me Stephen Day. Like, honestly, like, there's nothing better, right? When you come across an artist that you like you kind of vibe with and then you listen to,
genuinely love, you know,
and you listen to it and you're like, oh, that's great. But when you don't like something and come back to it, there's like this amazing feeling of beating yourself up.
Oh, you didn't like it at first?
Well, when we played it, it didn't click with me. You know, it's not that I didn't like it; it just didn't click. This time around, it clicked.
You know, want to know something?
Huh.
Our conversation and like the podcast that got released today, we spoke about this, where it was like, you know, sometimes because we dissected the Ariana Grande album, let's just say last month, probably from when this is going to be released. And you know, I listened to it once and I wasn't really, you know, ecstatic about it or thought it was anything really special, especially compared to her last works. But that's something that we spoke about, is that, you know, you listen to something once or an artist once and it might not have the impact that it will have on you long term when you return back to whatever it is that you listen to. I had that experience with Coldplay, for example, and I mentioned that. But so this is something that you're experiencing now at Stephen Day.
I like it better when it's like that, you know?
Yeah, it's
because it makes it more. I feel like you're more engaged when you're in the second time around.
Yeah, for sure. And for me with Stephen Day too, like the first time I listened to his song, I saved it and I was like, do I like this?
Yeah.
You know, and then I was in my like songs.
We talked about it, the first initial pass of something.
Yeah.
You know, like when you listen to it and if you want to go in for a second round, you can, you know. Because I don't know if this happens with you, but it's a thing I noticed today actually, and I know I do this. I will literally love a song within the first 10 seconds and rewind it. Like, I won't even continue. I'll be like, I'll pause it and be like, hold the fuck up. And then I'll rewind it. And then I'll rewind it, you know, because I love it so much and just in that initial first pass. And that's a great feeling as well.
Yeah, and what I also think like is particularly interesting about this or about him and his music is that it has a timeless quality to it.
100%.
Like I played music, like he has another song called On Top of the World, which I know you know now.
Yeah.
And I was playing it with my parents in the car and they were like, "Oh, like who is this? I don't remember them." And I'm like, "What do you mean you don't remember them?" It's like, "Oh, isn't this like a song from the 70s?"
Oh, God.
I was like, "No, it's not."
Like that's I mentioned that I would like to place him, right? One of my favorite movies last year, a Best Picture nominee, The Holdovers. Okay, The Holdovers was taking place in the 70s. The whole aesthetic, like title cards, everything was 70s music. But they had a song that was like 2010s in the soundtrack.
Oh, okay, but it fit the vibe of the music.
It sounded like it was 70s, and it blew me away. That's why I feel like Stephen Day could fit perfectly in a soundtrack.
That's also interesting for like from a music supervision standpoint, because typically they want you to like, especially what I learned in the class that I'm taking now.
You got to pick the time period.
You got to stay within that frame.
Exactly.
So,
so it's gutsy too.
Well, also, I guess that's only important if it's like in the movie.
Period piece.
Yeah, you know, like if it's like playing on a radio or something. If it's just like accompanying a visual, like if it's a documentary or
that's a completely different story.
Like it's like if it's available to the listener and not the characters, then I guess that's when it's passable. But you know, there's a timeless quality to his music too, and I think a lot of people like it. And I remember my dad asking me, it was this song that I was playing, and he asked me, he goes, what genre would this be considered? And Dancing in the Street, and I was thinking about it, and when you look up like what kind of music Stephen Day is, it comes up as alternative. Yeah, and like that alternative.
It's a very broad
yeah,
genre.
It's very broad.
Yeah.
It's like rock and roll. Rock and roll's huge,
and I love it.
Yeah.
This is when you say it sounds like coffee shop music, sounds like a diss, but it's not like a diss. It's that peaceful, when you think coffee shop, you think peaceful.
Yeah, and today, like, coffee shops are a place to find new music. Like, typically people that work in coffee shops are
they're music curators.
Yeah, they're, like, heavily involved in the arts, typically.
I do want to mention this in the song.
Uh-huh.
One moment I love because it happens twice in the song, but it's different both times. The lyric, "It was coming down in sheets," like, it was God, love it. Yeah, just that. You were staring back at me. That ascends me. That lyric is just so good, so peaceful, and it's just like, because I've heard the song before when we were listening to it, and I was waiting for the second time because when he sings "Coming Down," and oh my God, it kills me, dude. So good.
So what I love this song, and it like I have really listened to this song. It might be my most listened to song this next year. I'm gonna call it now. But
we'll circle back.
Yeah, we'll circle back. So the lyrics, what my interpretation of this song, first of all, not only is his voice great, the music's great, the production's great, the lyricism is also really fucking good. And I think in this case he was trying to go for maybe like a situationship type scenario. Because if you listen to the lyrics, it's like, oh, we were dancing in the streets like lovers do when they're in love. And I think it's kind of metaphorical. And I think maybe because he says it was coming down in sheets. So that's a phrase, right?
Yeah.
What would that be? Like, what? I've never heard that before. Like,
me either. It's not like a saying or anything.
So I think it was coming down in sheets. I think might be like an innuendo to, like, they were intimately involved with each other. It was coming down in sheets.
Yeah.
You were staring back at me in the middle of the street that night.
Yeah.
Or
it's like, it started in the sheets and now it's coming down from that thing, that perspective. Yeah.
Part of me wonders if originally the song was called Dancing in the Sheets. We were dancing in the sheets like people do when they're in love.
Yeah.
So there's
maybe, this is a whole thing. How do you market a sex song?
Yeah, exactly. So I wonder. I really do wonder. Yeah. It's so skillfully written.
Yeah.
And it's like, suddenly the morning came, all the rain had washed away. And coming down in sheets could be maybe like a reference to rain.
It's so like, for the perspective of the lyrics, right?
Yeah. Very
like,
sense bound too. Yeah. What helps paint a picture.
It's like kind of like showing the devolve of a relationship, right? Of the song, right?
Yeah.
But when I listen to it,
exactly. Yeah.
When I listen to it, it sounds like a love story.
It is. It is.
But like not in a negative sense. This is like saying the end of something.
Yeah.
But when I'm listening to it and the production makes it seem like it's not ending, it's evolving,
I think it's like kind of like
it's just fast. There's so many levels to it,
Like, I think because it's like, suddenly the morning came, all the rain had washed away. When we woke up from this dream, suddenly everything had changed. And it goes, would you know, though I know that it's over, would you know that I care?
The dream thing could be referencing like how there's that like initial love bound protection in the beginning of a relationship, and then it falls down.
I think like it's. Of course, music's up for interpretation, but to me, I think it's like a situationship that like didn't fully become something, and it's like you said, the evolution of it. And then I think like he's like, even though this is over, please know that I care about you, even though it's we're moving on. And I think that's beautiful. I think a lot of people, especially in today's dating world, I think that's the reality for a lot of people. And I know he's married.
Yeah.
So. And this was released, I think, when he was like in a serious relationship. Yeah. So I don't know who hurt you and that stayed with you for a while, Stephen, but it's really cool, and I really admire his songwriting.
The point is, everybody, check out more of this song. We already gave you a glimpse of it, but like it's something else. Like hop on the Stephen Day train. Yeah, you will not regret it.
Yeah, we went in on him. This is a long conversation.
Okay, so let's transition to my first pick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mine is a R&B pick that I found from my friend Jose that sent it to me, because Jose and I have a very like a really deep connection with music together, where we send each other songs, and we like like when, particularly in the R&B genre, when something hits us, like we will nonstop fall in love with that song together. We will like play it, reference it, like
Oh yeah.
we became massive fans. So this was one that he sent me by the artist Genevieve. Genevieve is pretty famous in feature sense, but not really like in rap songs, like a feature in rap songs, but like not really a big name for herself, which she should be. And after you guys hear this song, you should be. It's just a great song, great vocals, great production, just a simple R&B song that will just make you vibe. It's the best way to describe it. So here is a little bit of Baby Powder by Genevieve. So that was a little bit of Baby Powder by Genevieve. Again, I think the bass alone on this track is so good and entrancing. Genevieve's vocals, they're unique. I find them unique. Just like in how she like kind of speaks into and then sings a little bit at the very beginning. That could probably get on people's nerves a little bit, but I love this song. What did you think? You're new to this song.
I love this song. So I'm actually familiar with this like underlying composition because this is like a derivative work of a song called "Last Summer Whisper" by Henri. And I was really excited because like when I heard it, I was like, wait, I know this, and I love this song. Maybe we can play a snippet of it. Is that like, would that be possible if you throw like 6 seconds in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, here's 6 seconds of "Last Summer Whisper" by Henri.
Which I think fits really well for the genre of R&B. So she has that going for her too.
My next song is gonna be "You Go Down Smooth" by Lake Street Dive.
It'd be true to say that I ordered you.
Want me to go first?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. So that was "You Go Down Smooth" by Lake Street Dive off their Bad Self Portraits album, which actually turned 10 years old a few weeks ago. So it's been out for a long time. I was first introduced to Lake Street Dive back in 2016. My sister started dating somebody named Graham. Hi, Graham. And Graham showed me a live cover of theirs. He was a music guy. Played trumpet, really talented, but he was a chef. But anyways, he showed me a cover of them doing a song by the Jackson 5 live on the street in Boston. They're from Boston, by the way, Lake Street Dive. The lead singer, her name is Rachel Price. She's a very successful and well-respected jazz and blues vocalist in the scene and within the scene of like R&B, blues, jazz, and like you were saying earlier, Wiley, like women really are dominating the scene right now in this realm of music, and she's one of those people, I would say. They're actually going to play Madison Square Garden for the first time in September, and I bought tickets. I bought 2 tickets. I don't know who's coming with me yet. Maybe Wiley will fly into New York and come with me. But I'm really excited. This song might be my favorite of theirs. I love the energy in it. I love horn sections, and they got some horns in it, and it's got this infectious groove, and the bassist, I don't know her name off the top of my head, but the bassist really carries their music. She's so talented. They put on an incredible live show. If you were to like watch a live performance of them doing this song, it'll blow you away. They're just in their pocket the entire time. The harmonies are incredible. It's just amazing how well they can all like play and sing at the same time, and their voices blend so well together. Like if you listen to the track, it's really remarkable just how tight everything is. And it's like one of those songs that really makes you like want to get up and dance, especially towards the end. And I love the bridge into the outro of the song. And I think like it starts like kind of slow, and then you don't really expect what's about to come, and it just ends on this really like show-stopping, high energy like tap out, you know. But I'm curious, that was the first time you heard that, or have you heard it before?
I think it's my first time. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what was
Not
your
100% sure, but I don't remember it particularly. But I
Okay.
think I've heard it. But so yeah. I don't know.
What's your first impression?
So I love elements of the song. Overall, I just as a song, not for me. But I think it's very well done.
Okay.
Vocals are a powerhouse.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
It gives me like old like powerhouse vocals from back in like the 60s and stuff like that type of vibe. Also Amy Winehouse-esque type of vocals for me.
I can see that.
Yeah, just on how she sings and pronounces things.
The you go down smooth part too. Like she's a very like crisp,
Yeah.
clear voice.
It's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Like you got the power. Let's see it. You know, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
The production, I think, is the real standout here. Honestly,
For sure.
The bass that you were mentioning definitely has like a "You're Gonna Be My Girl" that song type of vibes a little bit with just the bass. And then the horns, like you said, are fantastic. I love when they come in as well.
By the way, the bass in the song is an upright bass.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and what I think is really cool, I think a lot of people that play bass
Mm-hmm.
want to sound like they're playing an upright bass.
Yeah.
But people that are like to have someone who's an upright bass player making it sound like an actual bass guitar is like that's fucking awesome. Kudos to their bass player. Yeah, it's really cool.
But yeah, it's I just particularly like I probably won't listen to it again, but it has like so many good elements. It's more one of those songs where I'll check out more of the artist stuff.
Oh yeah.
Than so like listen to the song again.
And you know some of their music already, like hypotheticals.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah.
I really like that song. Yeah. But yeah, the production's like good. You know, like this it would be a fantastic song live. You know,
it is.
Yeah,
it really is.
I bet it would be fantastic live. But yeah, just not for me. But I think it's a great track. I honestly do.
After the podcast, I can show you something if you're interested.
Okay.
It'll be the same song, but it's a really good video.
Okay.
Maybe I'll throw it in the comments if you guys can look for it whenever this gets released. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Yeah. What's your next pick? And the last pick, by the way.
Okay. So I found this artist today, so I have no knowledge of them. I found them through the artist like thing. Okay. I found them through the Stephen Day artist soundalikes.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I really like his music, and it's hard to describe his genre. So I guess the best way for me to find things like it would be to go there.
Yeah. So is this someone that you just found today?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So I don't know any knowledge. Yeah. But the song hit me deeply. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, when you start a song and I'm like, go back in the first 10 seconds, I did this with at least 3 times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
I'm
here
excited.
is Working on Love by Juice.
Oh, I love Juice. No way.
I've been working on loving, but you don't seem to care about nothing, and I need someone to love.
So that was a little bit of Working on Love by Juice. And this song is on another level. I was just telling Benny, this could probably be one of the best songs I've heard in a very, very, very long time. Because I'm a way that I'm so emotionally connected to music where it affects like me like physically. Where like if I hear dubstep, I like produce a headache instantly. I hate it. I can't listen to it because it gives me a headache. And sometimes I really like a simple production. This is so precise, this production, and it's just everything to it. Because you start like I was in my head because like I like to call it my superpower, really like singling on certain moments of the production, because you have that do 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 with the electric guitar, and then you have the drums in there that boom, that boom, pap, just and it goes together like that, perfect, like peanut butter and jelly, and then you go into just have that bass that in there, that's kind of very subtle bass in this track as well, and then just like, you know what? Oh, you like that? Let me add a little bit of spice to it. Add that fucking violin in there, and just oh my, holy crap! It's incredible. And one of my favorite aspects of it is that the lead singer, of it. You know, like we were just doing Lake Street Drive where we have a powerhouse vocalist carrying the song, and then having that amazing thing. And I feel like it works with that really well. And I feel like this works as like a lot because you have multiple singers on the track. You have the lead, and then the vocals on it are kind of like not perfect. They're not shiny, you know. They're kind of like that whininess in a positive way, and like someone to love, like that part of it. And I love it. I just it's amazing. I don't know.
It's the same vocalist.
Oh, it is. Just,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the same vocalist.
Okay,
One singer.
I know there are groups. I didn't know. Like I said, I just found them today.
Oh yeah, so I actually know this band very well. I've been listening to their music for a couple of years. They're not big by any means, especially in comparison to like other bands within the scene. Like it's funny because you know it's on Stephen Day's like fans also listen to. I'm one of those fans. So yeah, a lot of people like in the Lawrence fan community listen to Juice as well. The first song that I was introduced to by them was September Told Me So, and it's like there's like there's like a violin hook in it, and another one called DiCaprio, and then I think you'd like that song actually, and it's a good track, and then also another song called I was to say Juice, not Juice, Sugar. Sugar by Juice. So good. I actually wanted, that was in my like repertoire of songs to use to showcase on the podcast. But the lead vocalist is incredible. Has a really good voice, really good pitch. I love his tone. It's like very distinctive. And you know, it's you don't have many people that sound like him in like the popular music landscape. Yeah, I can't think of one person who he sounds like.
I think he sounds like Barty Strange quite a bit.
I'm not,
you don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't. So I'll definitely have to
he
check
sounds
out his
quite
music.
A bit
Cool.
like Barty Strange.
And well, that throws my opinion out the window. But he has I love his voice. I love the tone of his voice. It's just I guess not unique, but I'll say unique to what I know. And fun fact, the band is from New York City. I believe Brooklyn actually.
Yeah.
I
saw
from
that.
Brooklyn. Yeah. So Brooklyn represent. Love that. Love to see it. And yeah, I don't know what else I could really say. For this track specifically, I knew the song already. But it wasn't one that like I listened to and kept. And often, like if I'm listening to like Juice, like there are moments where I'll tell my Google Home to play music by Juice, and you know it goes through, and I hear this. But it's so good, and I love the fact that they have a violin in the band.
Oh, it's so good.
You know, and it's present in all, if not most, of their tracks. It's really cool. It's really cool. I follow them on Instagram. They're not too active on social media, to my knowledge.
They haven't released music in a hot minute either.
Really?
Yeah, the track that I picked was from like 2018, if I'm not wrong. Double check that fact. Yeah, 2018.
Cool.
And they haven't released anything. Oh wait, when did this come out? Nothing Like a Dream. Oh, it came out this year. So the January 17th, it came out with something. Okay, you need to check it out.
Single?
No, EP.
Oh, cool. I'll have to give it a listen
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, yeah, I love when artists bring in like a specific instrument that becomes a centerpiece of the artist. One of the bands I really like, it's The Midnight. They do synthwave type of 80s style music I really do enjoy, and their main thing is saxophone, and it's killer. It's so good. So yeah, violin, just yeah, it's great. I think they definitely have something special, Juice, and I'm excited to check out the rest of their music.
For
but
sure.
This song hit me like a brick a wall. That made no sense.
A
Hit me
wall.
like yeah,
Wall of
hit me like
bricks.
a wall. It's just how good it made me stop my tracks on my listening today, and really put an impact on me. So I'm glad to show it to you guys if you have not listened to this song yet. So
Yeah.
that is our choices for this episode.
Good music all around.
So we have Genevieve, Lake Street Dive, Juice, and we have Stephen Day. Check out all those artists. They have all great music. Very special artists too, and a unique wave of genre too within these as well.
Yeah, lots of soul influence and
Yeah.
R&B influence in the music we chose today.
I tend to go rock, so I switched it up a little bit today.
How about this? Would you like to rank the songs in order that we heard today?
Sure. Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, so starting from the bottom, I would have to do the Lake Street Dive track.
Interesting.
Then I would probably do Genevieve, Baby Powder.
Okay.
Then I would do Stephen Day, Dancing in the Streets, what it's called.
Yeah.
Then I would put number 1 as Waiting for Love.
Cool.
So,
I will have to do Lake Street Dive at the very top. Dancing in the Street second. Waiting for Love, and then the Genevieve song for me. Yeah.
these are not a diss to any of the tracks
No,
either.
not at all. I loved all the
Yeah.
music. It's kind of hard. It's all subjective, and like it goes to show you, like we had like was ours opposite? Not opposite completely, but almost opposite in terms of what we like the best. So, it's subjective. Some people like apples, some people like oranges.
Yeah.
He likes oranges. I like apples and oranges. So like
And that is the Fresh Record.
Yep.
Please like and subscribe. You can find me at Wiley K. Todd on all social medias.
You can find me at Benny Cumella on everything. Like I always say, there's only one of me, so you'll be able to find me anywhere you want to.
And if you guys did not know and you're watching this on video, we have a podcast feed on all podcasts where you can find them. Just look up the Fresh Record, subscribe, and you'll get it there. So if you don't want to watch us, then you can listen to us.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
other
podcast services.
Yeah.
Please make sure to like and subscribe.
Mm-hmm. And we're trying to update the playlist with music we constantly talk about into this massive Fresh Record playlist. Maybe we'll create a separate one called Fresh Record Picks, and then it would be just the ones that we cover in these type of episodes, so you guys can just go listen to the songs. But we can talk about behind the scenes. But we'll update you if we do decide to do that. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time on the Fresh Record.